Hello everyone and welcome to the second episode of video podcast coming from figuredrawingonline.com, a website dedicated to providing lectures and tutorials for those who wish to learn to draw the human figure. As we said earlier, there will be two series of video podcasts. The first one is intended for beginners to intermediates. The second one will be intended for the advanced students. The scope of these video podcasts is very small, so all I can squeeze in are the very basics. I won't be able to speak much about muscles or bones, which are quite necessary for understanding the human body and to be able to draw the human form. Nevertheless, if you want more information or if you want to learn more, you can head over to www.figuredrawingonline.com, where you can purchase lectures and tutorials, where you will find more tuition. Anyway, but back to the subject of this video podcast. We're talking about the pelvis. Now, pelvis is a large shape in the human body, and therefore it's very important to place it accurately and to position it in space. To do that, we will follow the same line of thought that we introduced in the first video podcast, and that is simplifying the complex shapes that we see in the human figure into simple geometric shapes that are manageable, that can be easily placed in space. Nevertheless, just a quick sketch of a pelvis. Essentially, it's consists of two halves that meet in the front in a bony structure called the pubis, and then in the back it is connected to, and this is a very simplified quick sketch, just so you would see the basic shape. Of course, you can look up a more detailed drawing in any anatomy book, as well as if you want more information, you can get it from the figuredrawingonline.com website. So this bit here, in a later video podcast, we will be talking about the upper leg, and this is where the upper leg fits in. In this cavity, it houses the femur bone of the upper leg. I'm not going to go into details on that. Nevertheless, if this is just a quick indication then. So pretty much that's what the pelvis looks like from the front, and then there's another bit in the back. On the side view, it looks something like, perhaps, you can see I'm not taking time to make this as a beautiful drawing. I'm just literally throwing this up on a paper just to give you a basic indication of what a pelvis looks like. Okay, so that's the bit here in the front, that's called the pubis, and these are the cavity-like shapes that house the upper end of the femur bone, the thigh bone. You can see why it is quite simple to visualize the pelvis as a box. It's fairly rectangular if you enclose it in a box-like shape. So, for example, in this far left drawing, it is quite easy to actually visualize it as a box. When we talk about the pelvis, it is important to look out for basic clues and landmarks. In this case, it is two dimples which are called a sacroiliac crest. I'm not going to go, unfortunately, there's no time to go into more details on that in this video podcast. it forms a triangle, and what it does is, because of these curved lines, you can easily determine the position in space. This bottom part of the triangle is where the split of the buttocks start. So for this quick drawing, I will be just putting in the buttocks as a rounded shape. As I said earlier in the first video podcast, what we need to do is simplifying the complex shapes into a simple geometric shapes that are more manageable. So from here on, I'll just follow quickly the line of the spine, of the spinal column. And in the podcast before this one, we talked about a rib cage, and again, I will put it in just as a box-like shape, really. It will be joined. You can see from the line of the shoulders that that's roughly the position. Now for the legs, I will just put them in as cylinders. That would be the easiest way how to visualize them, especially in this pose. So I will run these contour lines over that, and that will give us a sense of the shape and the position and the direction. This is actually quite a good exercise for the foreshortening, but that could be another video podcast. Right now I'm just putting in the basic shapes, so we can see how it works if we break down the complex shapes into simple geometric shapes. What happens is the geometric shapes will allow you to create a relationship. It will allow you to build the size, the position, and the shape of these parts of the body, and that in turn will be the basis for adding more details. Unfortunately, there's not much time to do more here, and you can see how the rib cage kind of comes out. But it is important, especially for the beginners, and these are the video podcasts intended for the beginners, or for people who have drawn a bit but haven't thought of anyways how to manage the complexity of the human form. In the later, or perhaps in the next one, in the next video podcast, we will also we will talk a little bit about light, and we will talk about planes and plane breaks. For the time being, I'll just do a quick sketch of that one there. So in that case, we're looking almost from the top. So you see, in these simple geometric shapes, there's no bones, there's no details that could kind of make it difficult to do what I'm doing. It literally allows us to build the body. That's one of the buttocks, that's the other one disappearing there. That's the spinal column. And then in the front, simple shapes. That's just a cylinder. This one here is just a ball. And then, of course, from here, the other leg again is a cylinder. Comes up on that side. And it is important to remember that these drawings are studies, quick sketches that are designed for study, for learning, for understanding the human form. So they are fast, they're efficient, and they allow us to see. And then in front of that there will be the knee, and then the lower leg going down that way, again with contour lines. So literally these drawings are designed as a quick sketches just to introduce the thought process. And again, that egg-like shape for the rib cage. We talked about the rib cage in the previous video podcast, and I will not worry about the head because it will get just too messy, but then the shoulder kind of encloses it all, and we have the neck coming up somewhere there. Maybe I can put in this hand. Again, a simple cylinder, simple geometric shapes. You don't have to worry about the details. It is literally just to capture the essence, capture the large mass. So without going into any more detail on bones and muscles, shading or light, for all those you will need to head over to www.figuredrawingonline.com. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you with the next episode, which will be on the upper leg.